Welcome back to the Aftermatch with Kirst Beav. Come for the rugby, stay for the Aftermatch. The All Blacks Test 3 team has been named. Beaver's not in the car this week, not in studio, but at his home studio. Here is the All Blacks 23 to take on France and Hamilton. I tell you what, if Razor wanted to get the Chiefs fans on board, he's done that, Beav, because there are plenty of Chiefs in this side. Ethan de Groot is in jersey 1, Samisoni Taukei'aho, the first of many Chiefs, and 2, Tyrell Lomax back from injury and starting. Second row unchanged, Patrick Tuipulotu, and Fabian Holland gets to go again for his third test. Samipeni Finau at 6. That's about the only thing you got right in this team, Beav. Ardie Savea, 7, and captain of the All Blacks once again, Luke Jacobson, Lukey J, wearing the number 8 jersey. Cortez Dartima, Damian McKenzie, the 9-10 combo. Quinta Pyer and Anton Leonard Brown. More Chiefs. Plenty more Chiefs in this team. Rico Ioane on one wing. Sevu Reece on the other side, who's recovered from that HIA in Test 1. Ruben Love finally gets an opportunity at fullback and most likely 10 cover. No Beauden Barrett. He's been ruled out with a hand injury. On the bench, Brodie McAllister gets a debut. There's another Chiefs lad, George Bauer. Fletcher Newell, Dalton Papali'i is back in the mix, so his first test in a very, very long time, considering he didn't go on the end of year tour last year. Du Plessis, Karifi, Noah Hotham, Timothy Tavatavanawai, and Will Jordan wearing the number 23 jersey. Beav, what gets you most excited about that side? Aside from all the Chiefs in there.
Well, I was going to say, aside from all the Chiefs, off the top of my head, I'd say that's a record number of starting Chiefs in any All Black team. And look, they talk about pub chat or street talk. Last year, Razor in the pubs around New Zealand, and this wasn't my opinion, but I'm telling you, in the pubs on the street, might have been accused by your common man of selecting from one part of the country. I tell you what, he's kicked that in the guts, isn't he?
There's only one starting Crusader.
He's absolutely kicked that in the guts, and he's read the room. He's realised, he has read the room. He's been in the Novotel all week in Hamilton. He's got that Waikato River ear, and he's gone, I've got to get these boys out there. So beautiful to see from Razor. 7 Chiefs, no less, and our new fresh chief in McAllister gets a run. But no, the thing
that technically a Crusader, Beav, and a Canterbury man.
He made his name as a chief.
He won titles for the Crusaders.
Took him to move to the Chiefs to become an All Black. No, the great thing about it is, it's fresh, it's exciting, but they've done it in a way that you've got to commend the intelligence of it, because if you had told me before the team naming that they're going to make 6 or 7 starting changes, you instantly think what we've always talked about is that fair on the boys going in there with, new combinations and what have you. But what he's done, and yes, they are Chiefs combinations, but he's got a 9 and 10 who have played a truckload of rugby together. He's got a 12 and 13 who are great mates and play a lot of rugby together when either or either of them aren't injured. And obviously the tight 5 is relatively the same, but it just gets bolstered by the fact that Lomax has come back in, and then the loose forwards have all played a lot of rugby together, and Luke Jacobson experience, Samipeni Finau been in the All Blacks for quite some time now, and obviously the king that is Ardie Savea at the moment still there. So although massive changes, it doesn't feel like, we're rolling out the B squad or anything like that. It just feels like, hey, there's changes, but where's it weaker? I don't know. You don't see any obvious glaring sort of weaknesses in it. So no, I'm excited by it. Kirst looks a great team.
Thank God Razor read the room and listened to some of those conversations that you were having in the pub last year, Beav. Not weakness.
Not me. Not my pub. I don't go to the pub anymore. I'm trying to live a healthier life.
Not a weakness, but no lock cover. So Samipeni Finau, most likely covering lock?
Yeah, absolutely is. And I like it because it gives Dalton a chance. Like obviously Karifi was named in the squad, and he's been great the first couple of weeks, and he's on the bench again. But Dalton Papali'i, I felt, was unlucky in the first place to miss out on selection, depending on what's the numbers as far as the mix goes. He's been in there, and now a guy that's played a lot of All Black rugby is on the bench, and as you said, he will get plenty of time. Obviously, Samipeni Finau there to cover the locks, and I'd imagine they'll try and get another good 60 minutes out of Paddy. Job done. 20 or 30 point buffer. Samipeni goes into lock, and then they play with that loose forward mix. But no, by and large, very excited.
How important is this test for Damian McKenzie when right now we don't know how many tests at 10 that he will get this season?
Yeah,
Could that change from what happens in Hamilton?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, absolutely. Bodie, looking from the outside in, is their number 1 10 at the moment, and Damian gets an opportunity. I've already looked at the weather. It is it's going to be chilly, but it is still, and there is no rain. So what does that mean? It means they're going to be able to
spray on again, Beav.
We'll be putting the dew spray on. I'll talk to KJ, but we'll want the dew spray with Damian at 10 and a high voltage.
The dew spray didn't work in that quarterfinal against the Blues. Isn't that when they put the dew spray on?
They did put the dew spray on for the Blues, but it didn't work out that way, did it? Well, they played 2 one-dimensional, but let's not talk about the Chiefs and how they lost another title. But what we're talking about here is Damian McKenzie at 10. Yeah, it's a big game, but it's like he's played plenty of rugby. He's not playing for his career or anything like that, but at the moment, it is clear that Bodie's their number 10, and Damian gets a chance, and everything being equal, he's surrounded by combinations. I think he plays better with Quinn Tupaia outside him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's every Wednesday playing golf together, that the partnership's there. But I just think that it's a nice fit for Damian. Obviously outside his Chiefs halfback too and Cortez. So no, it's a big game for him, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all. I think he just goes out there and does his job.
What about the combination with Ruben Love out the back? How do you see that working? Because they never would have been together as a 10-15 before, would they?
No, they wouldn't have. But also, that's not a big combination unless you make it a big combination. You know, like for, I guess, in the Fozzie regime, and then probably Hansen regime before that, this dual playmaker thing was talked about all the time and was seen as a bit of a thing. You look at the way that Bodie and Will Jordan are playing together at the moment. It's not like they're glued to the hip and they're making decisions together, or it's tactically based around those two. So I don't know if the fact that those two haven't played together is a massive combination issue. I'm sure Ruben Love will slot in there. Ruben Love's got a great boot. He's got a mind now of a 10 as well. So he'll just be another foil, another helm. Obviously, no Geordie Barrett. So yes. Geordie Barrett, obviously, not only is the vice captain and a wonderful player, but he's also a massive kicking option, a massive tactical help, I would suggest, from what you hear about the environment. So Ruben, yep, he's probably got to pick up the 15 jersey, but he's probably also got to pick up some of the good work that Geordie does to help his 10s inside him. So that'll probably be a big thing. But then I guess also you complement that with the fact that Anton Leonard's Brown's back, very experienced footballer, you know, and he's also a decision maker and a good voice. And, you know, all in all, you got Sevu and Rico on the wings, so you got plenty of experience out there. So, you know, where you've got Ruben Love slotted in, he's got 2 very experienced rugby players on the wings with him. So I'm sure those combinations will work and work quickly.
A lot of people already are saying, does Big Jim not deserve a chance to start in this test? Why do you think the All Blacks have him on the bench again? Is this your theory that you think they're looking at him as a bench option?
I think it's both. I think he has the ability, I think, to be a major weapon for the All Blacks off the bench. I mean, we don't need to copy a bomb squad mentality or a bomb squad name, but he can be that impactful off the bench. And let's say he's coming off the bench of Damian McKenzie, as we've talked on previous episodes. That is a combination coming off the bench, which will be the envy of everyone if they can come on and get it right. And coming off the bench isn't like I know people probably think, oh, he's a good rugby player. What's the difference between coming off the bench and starting? Being a good rugby player doesn't just instantly mean you're going to be a great bench player. It takes some adjusting. Like I know we've talked about in the past, Bodie Barrett is the greatest bench player we've ever seen. And he's just magical when he comes off the bench, but not everyone can do that. And like, for example, Damian probably hasn't quite nailed that yet for the All Blacks. And yet when you look at Damian as a rugby player, you think that's a guy that could come on and create havoc with 25 to go. So I think they might have recognised the fact that Jim could be that man, Tavatavanawai could be that man, but let's give him some time to practice it. And secondly, the other reason I think he's there as opposed to starting is with all the mass changes, I think if you're going to make mass changes, but you can get away with putting guys in who are in combinations, I think that would have had something to do with it. Therefore, that's why Quinn goes in with an Anton Leonard Brown outside of Damian McKenzie. I think that's just an easier fit. And I'm sure they want to give Quinn Tapira a chance too, because let's be honest, he had a bench run.
Yeah.
And then he didn't play last one, and he's someone who had another, like Tavatavanawai, had an outstanding Super Rugby competition. So, again, deserves a crack.
You said a couple of days ago that there were some players that had nothing to prove, and Anton Leonard Brown is one of those because he's an 6 test All Black or whatever. They know exactly what they're going to get from him. Same with Sevu Reece. So what's happened with Moni Narawa, Beav?
Well, after being close to probably our best in Wellington, again, Amoni gets put on ice. I don't know. I mean, obviously, Sevu's an original squad member.
Of course.
And
they
back
already
available.
know what they're getting with him.
Yeah, but he played 2 minutes. And, they might be already looking at the thought of what's our Argentinian.
So this is our wingers for Argentina, Rico and Sevu.
I'm not saying it's our wingers, but I'm pretty sure they want to give Sevu's obviously higher up the pecking order, hence the original team naming. So they're like, well, he's a fit and available. Argentina's a few weeks away. Let's get Sevu 80 minutes. Because if everyone's a fit and available, obviously they're probably going to pick the guys that they felt were going to be their test wingers to start with before all the injuries. Leonard Brown, I know, got nothing to prove as far as an All Black and being picked in the next squad and all the rest of it, of course. But isn't it fascinating in the 13 jersey? We have seen this year and a willingness from the coaches to look elsewhere in that midfield. Obviously, Geordie's there at 12, but Proctor's had 2. Rico's playing on the wing now. I'm fascinated to see how it goes. Is this Anton Leonard Brown's big chance to really put his hand up and say, give me a decent crack at 13 and I'll show you what I got?
I know that we've still got a month or so until Argentina and the new squad will be named, but I am still fascinated how the Leicester Whanganukau situation is going to play out for this All Blacks team, Beav. When you look at this 23, is this team going to play even faster than what the All Blacks have the last 2 weeks with the athletes that they've got on the field?
Well, you could suggest possibly if you look straight at the 9 and 10. I mean, Cortez plays quick, but so does Cam Roigard. I think Damien's the one that's potentially is the one that speeds things up, but not speeds things up from a speed point of view, just from the way he naturally plays. The rolling of the dice. It is going to be great weather. Wellington was heavy track. It had a curtain raiser on it. And I know I'm sounding like a cricket pitch sort of a curator here, but there's no hiding from the fact that it had a curtain raiser. It had been raining all day, and you talk about playing quick. It doesn't exactly lend itself to that, but Hamilton, it's going to be a nice day and no wind. It does probably suggest that they're going to try and be quicker again, and coupled with the fact that they know playing quick puts this current French team under pressure. So I have no doubt all week that Razor has been driving in the fact that we're going to play up speed, high tempo, quick rucks, no rucks where possible, get the offloads going. However, they haven't had a great week to practice it. She's been monsoons weather for Monday to Friday, and then it's just going to open up beautifully as it always does in Hamilton on Saturday.
Last week you said 13 plus easily. How many points should this All Blacks team put on the French?
Oh, I don't know if should's the right word, but I'll be putting 13 plus. There'll be 13 plus in them again.
Tell us how many points they should put on.
Well, if there's a bracket at your local gambling agency offering a 20 to 40 spread, I would get in on that.
20 to 40 spread. Okay, well, let's get into predictions then. So this week, last week actually, you said you were going to go 4 from 4. Yep. Didn't happen, Beef. You went 2, I went 2.
No one told me the Anzacs weren't going to show up.
And what about Wales?
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah.
My countrymen over there in Japan let me down.
So right now we're even, Stevens. You got 2 in week 1. I got 2 week 1. We each got 2 in week 2. So week 3, here we are. Predictions. You talk curtain raisers. There's a curtain raiser at Eden Park tomorrow night, which you'll be on the coaching clipboard for. So let's talk classics, Beef. The classic All Blacks coming up against the classic Pacific Islanders. What sort of side are you going to roll out so that I can have an indication before I put my prediction in?
Well, I'm putting a lot of onus on set piece domination, and so therefore I've gone Faumoina and Afar up front.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm just
What sort
really
of shape are those two in?
as expected.
Full 80 or?
Look, they'll say that, but I get my hands on them tonight at training, and I'll be quietly saying, boys, you're going 80. And then guys like Marsoe and that to Daniel Braid. So I've got some very good Lucy's. So high brand of footy, high speed, high tempo. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll be 13 plus. Don't you worry.
Who are you coming up against? Who's in this classic Pacific Island team? Anyone we should be concerned about?
Well, I shouldn't be concerned about them because I'm off the field. But there's a few hitmen out there. Nili Latu, the notorious missile, the Tongan missile, he's playing. Here's a wild card for you. Manu Vatavai is playing and has been announced. So I'm not sure what position.
Who's coming up against Manu?
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going to put him, but I can assure you, you won't want to be in front of him. So looking forward to seeing how that unfolds. But I do believe we're having a little team get together this evening, and also the opposition will be there. So I'll do some, undercover scouting of the Pacific Island team.
I will put my money on the fact that you will end up on that field at some point, whether you like it or not. That's what my money will be on. Let's give our predictions then, Beef. So you're going 13 plus to the classics?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll go 1 to 12 classics because we've got a differ. That is the curtain raiser at Eden Park. Straight after that, Samoa, Scotland.
Yeah, fascinating one.
Scotland
this one
have had like half their team taken out and given to the Lions this week.
Yeah, I was actually in a cafe in Auckland this morning, catching up with a former Japanese teammate of mine, and walked some of the Scotland boys, and they weren't holding back on some of the pastries. So I'm concerned with that. So I'll go Samoa 1 to 12.
I'll go Scotland 1 to 12. Let's go All Blacks France. 13 plus for both of us All Blacks.
13 plus for the boys in black.
I'm Kiwi again.
Oh, it's great to have you back, Kirst. And
13 plus.
Cannot wait to get to see a sold-out Waikato Stadium on Saturday night.
What about the sellout at Suncorp on Saturday night, Beef? Test 1, the British and Irish Lions against the Wallabies. This is where we see what the Wallabies are made of. Where are you going here? You have to go Wallabies because your TAB says so, and that's what you've been saying for the last 4 months.
And if you haven't realised or subscribed to the Aftermatch, you'll know that our bonus episode during the week was none other than Matt Gateau joining us, and he's also buoyant by the Wallabies, I think, or maybe it's like me, a bit of false bravado, but he's got them, so I'm going them 1 to 12.
Okay, I want the Wallabies to win, but I'm going to go the Lions.
Margin?
Probably 13 plus.
But
I'll say 1 to 12 because it's better for the series. We do not want a hiding in the first game of that series. We want it to be interesting. So Lions 1 to 12. That is our great predictions. Best of luck staying off the field at Eden Park tomorrow night, Beef.
Don't you worry. I'm not even taking my boots.